Hello all, this is Cal O Ween, and if you love costumes and Halloween as much as I do, guess what? Now's the time. I'm going to be showing you how to make some awesome costumes without breaking the bank. Maybe even using some items you already have at home. Today we're recreating a classic. This is a cultural costume. I will be showing you how to become Geisha. Let's get started. Here's our beautiful Geisha costume. Now, I was able to find some pretty good deals on kimonos on eBay and Amazon. I mean, I'm talking, this is a pretty nice kimono. It's a lighter material than what usually kimonos are. I think kimonos are usually at least like a cotton. It's real light. It's a light satin, but it'll work. And it was only like 20 something bucks. And it's got all the parts. So all this here, the belt and everything, pretty good deal. For accessories, I have a paper parasol, which I purchased at an antique shop. I already had a fan. You know, these are just some accessories that you can use. If you have them, great. If you don't, that's fine. You don't necessarily have to have accessories. Here is the wig that I purchased. A little concerned with the size of it. I have talked about in previous videos, I have a very large dome. And this looks like it's made for somebody with an itty bitty head. But we'll see how it works. I got it online and I accessorized with some flowers that I already had, some chopsticks that I already had, little comb that I had. They do wear a lot of stuff in their hair. So whatever you have at home will work great. I bought myself some real Geisha clogs or sandals. These are like the real deal. Got them online. They were only, I think, 20 bucks. They were supposed to come with socks. The socks didn't come, so I had to make my own. Their socks are split to go around the thong in their sandals. So I just went to Publix and bought some and split them and sewed them myself. But that's the costume. We'll go ahead and get started. You want something with an easy makeup? Be a geisha. They have very easy makeup, not a lot to buy. I have the Ben Nye Ultra Light. Geishas have a very light complexion, or they use a very light makeup. There's actually one by Ben Nye called Geisha, and it's like a pinkish, whitish, fair color. It's not really white. So you just want to be real fair, like fairer than your natural skin color. So like a porcelain doll complexion is basically what it is. Always forget to take all my bracelets off. I did try on the wig, and I highly recommend this wig because it looked kind of scary, like it wasn't gonna fit. Now the sideburns kind of do go up kind of high, but it fits like a cap. You know what I'm saying? So unlike a regular wig there, where you can kind of stretch it on, you know, you pull down the back, it goes on kind of like poof, like a cap. It's really weird. My mother-in-law was a geisha once. Here she is. This is Kathy, best mother-in-law in the world. I love her so much. So she's with me today while we do our makeup, and she's adorable. So yeah, you know, it's hard to get in-laws that you really, really are fond of, you know, and I kind of hit the jackpot. So let's get started. So like I said, I've got my Ben Nye and Ultralight Aqua. This is the Mayron Paradise. It's the equivalent of the Ben Nye Aqua. It's just Mayron. And this is the light pink. I've noticed in all the pictures, or a lot of the pictures that I look at, that the geishas have usually a pink on their lid. A little bit of a pink. Not so much red, but they do sometimes do red too. But most of the time it's pink. They have the foundation or the paint that they use, a little bit of the pink. No fake eyelashes or anything like that, but if you want to do fake eyelashes, you can. And some red lipstick, which today we'll be using my new Give lipstick. It's the Gwen Stefani Give. Works pretty well. stays on pretty good. I would recommend, you know, if you're going out in costume, get it like a color stay. That way you don't have to keep reapplying. This is kind of like that, so I'll be using that. And that's pretty much it. Obviously, I'll have a black liner to line my brows, but I'm gonna keep a lot of the natural shape of my brows, just darkening them. So let's go. Today, we're getting ready to leave, going to Louisville, Kentucky, whatever. I like saying Louisville, but I know that's, to the locals, that's incorrect. But Louisville sounds like I have a mouthful of marbles, so I'm not fond of that pronunciation, even if I know it's wrong. All right, so when you get your light, whatever color you're going with, you can do white if you want. It is close to a white. Whatever you have is what I would advise you use. Do yourself a favor and get yourself some Ben Nye Aqua or the Mayron Paradise, because if you use those cheap cream colors that they have at the Halloween store, they're not going to last. They're going to be melting off your face before you walk in the door at your party. You see that? How that's just a really light. Now, to you, it might look white. Another thing they do is that they do not go all the way to the hairline most of the time in the pictures that I've seen. So you're going to be going around. I was totally just trying to do my makeup without my makeup mirror. I forgot I had it on the charger, and I'm looking right at you, but it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. What I'm probably gonna do too is a translucent powder over this to make it even more, you know, just make it blend more. You're not gonna believe how easy this is. Of course, you're gonna want your eyeliner too, a liquid eyeliner as well, so you can do the Asian eyes. You can't see it, but Maceo's right here in front of me, looking at me. So with the Ben Nye Aqua, there were areas that, you know, just looked kind of dry and cracked. So I just went over it with a really light, this is my Kat Von D that I just bought, my Kat Von D foundation, and it worked. You know, I went over like the more cracked areas to make it smoother. The Aqua is pretty dry. It's a pretty dry makeup. So you might have like little cracks here and there where my natural wrinkles are. And now what I'm going to do is go over it with this translucent powder. This is called Neutral Set. It's from Ben Nye. It's just a colorless face powder. So I'm going to go over it with the Neutral Set. It's also going to set the makeup. We're turning into a geisha. So let's start with our eyebrows like we always do. Just going to get a black pencil here. I have been a geisha before. It was 2018 when I was just doing my photos from the chest up. I did a geisha that year. My husband, he's in the military, and he had an annual tour in Okinawa, Japan. So I asked him to bring me back a kimono, and he did. So I thought, I'll just be a geisha. That'll be one of my costumes this year. Only his was, it was more like a robe. It wasn't really, he didn't know what a kimono is. You know, and they probably call a robe a kimono there. I don't even know. So that he was probably like, you have something called a kimono? And they took him to these little robes. So I wanted to get a more traditional looking kimono, so I did. So I didn't necessarily have to buy what I got. I just really wanted something more traditional. Said this year, I'm doing everything better than I did in the past, because the last couple years have been not that great. Really wanted to kind of reshape my eye a little bit. Doesn't look like I'm doing that. It's gonna look good either way, but that's pretty good. If you've ever watched Memoirs of a Geisha, it was a really great movie about the culture around, you know, what a geisha is. They're kind of like ladies of the night, actually, but they're held in very high regard. So people want to be a geisha. There's an art to it, and it's a very, the whole lifestyle. It's the whole lifestyle. It's not just they're coming out at night. It's like their whole lifestyle is very regimented and very, you know, they have to eat a certain way. They have to drink a certain way. They have to do their makeup a certain way. They have to dress a certain way. Back, I would say the early 1900s, late 1800s, might have even been before that. they were actually binding their feet because it was unattractive in that culture to have large feet for a woman. So they were binding their feet so that they would look smaller. They would actually have to hammer the feet, break all the bones in the toes, and wrap the toes underneath the foot for the foot to appear smaller. And they would wear these little tiny shoes that were just like that big and put their, and learn how to walk on their broken feet. It's really crazy. You should, there's probably all kinds of documentaries on foot binding and in the early, geisha days in Japan. Super interesting though. This is gonna be more natural looking than the last one I did. More using my natural facial features. I'm going to reshape my eye. Now, if you haven't watched the Björk video I did, I reshaped my eye in that one to look a little more, well, she's Icelandic, but she's not Asian, but she's got an Asian, shape to her eye, more of an almond shape. So I'm gonna be doing that again. We're gonna do a bit of pink on our eyelids. And this is the Mayron Paradise, the Mayron Aqua. It's water activated just like the Ben Nye products. And it works it really honestly and truly works just as well. And what's cool is that, if Ben Nye doesn't have a color that I need, Mayron usually has it. So you can almost find any color that you need between the two of them. Alright, it's not real shaped, so I'm just going to almost like do a line like that, right up, going right up. And do the same on the other eye. Going out just a little bit, almost like I'm making kind of like a fan with it. It's fanning out a little bit. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop there. Now we're gonna reshape our eyes. And what I do to reshape, I have a really round eye. There ain't no Asian at all going on here. I don't even have almond shape. I mean, they're just like round. What I do to try and reshape them is I go a little bigger in the front and around. I'll try and show you what that looks like. This is a little hard to do on camera. I don't know how some of these other girls do it, but I go up here and then down. And it kind of just does give my eye a little bit of a different shape. This is a new precision pen I got. Aqua Resist. I thought that probably meant waterproof. So I needed a waterproof. We'll see. Makeup Forever. This is from Sephora. But is that how you say it, or do you say Sephora? Is it Sephora or Sephora? I don't know. Pronouncing all kinds of stuff wrong today anyway, so we're gonna go with that. I don't like it as much as my Maybelline waterproof liquid liner I get for $6 at, Walgreens. It's not drawing very well on top of this. I like a brush for my liquid liner. I like to have a brush. I feel like I have more control with a brush. Here's my Maybelline. So like that. I'm gonna do the other one off camera here. Save us some time. All right. I can't make my eyes not round. They are round, but I can try. And this technique kind of works a little bit to just reshape, give them a little bit of a different shape. So it's gonna touch up some of my pink. And there that is. Let's get our lashes on. They don't wear liner, like on their waterline or anything like that. Not that I can notice. So, just gonna do lashes, lipstick, and get dressed. I've got the Gwen Stefani Give. Now, I'm just gonna go inside, just inside my natural lip line. I'm not going to do the little puckered lips like everybody thinks a geisha has. All the pictures I looked at, they just had kind of regular lips. But they weren't real big. It's not going to be a Kardashian lip or anything like that. It's going to be... A geisha is dainty. Everything about them. They're very dainty. I think that's part of the whole thing, is being very dainty. Small feet, small hands. Now they don't do the foot binding anymore, but they do wear very uncomfortable shoes. They do wear very uncomfortable shoes, because even their walk has to be dainty. It can't be like, you know, taking big old steps or anything like that. You know, just little dainty little walk they have. There's our geisha makeup. Let's go get dressed. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this costume. It's a classic. Everyone loves a geisha. And if you need some inspiration, watch Memoirs of a Geisha. It's a really great film, and it'll give you a lot of background on the culture of the geisha and a lot of inspiration for makeup and costume. And even if you're like me and you like to act and be in character when you're wearing a costume, it'll even give you some ideas on how to change your demeanor to match your costume. That'll be all for today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. And happy Cal O Ween!